Hi, my name's Michael Ruhlman. Welcome to another Friday Cocktail Hour. We're going to do a really fun one today, one I love. It's summertime, it's beautiful, but it's also a very complicated time. Cocktails really help in complicated times. So I wanted to say and affirm my support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Black Lives Matter. I support the LGBTQIA+ community. I support Black, Indigenous, people of color, and I want to do everything I can to convey that support. Now, onto the cocktail. We're doing a bee's knees today, and we're doing it with a special gin. I've been spending quarantine in Providence, and there's a company called the Industrious Spirit Company that is making a gin, a bourbon, a vodka, all with organically raised crops. And they are the first distillery since Prohibition to open in the city. Today I'll be using their ornamental gin. It's very herbaceous, very botanical, and good for a complex cocktail. I would use a drier one for martini, for instance. So we're going to do a bee's knees, which is honey. Got some local honey from here on the coast of Massachusetts, where we're spending a week, which I made a little syrup for, and lemon and gin. So we're going to stick to the traditional formula of 2 parts booze, 1 part sour, 1 part sweet. 2 ounces of gin. I'm making 2 cocktails here. Then I've made some honey syrup. It dissolves easily by mixing about equal parts really good honey and water and bringing it to a boil so it's pourable. And I am using freshly squeezed lemon juice. 2 ounces for 2 cocktails. And that's as simple as it needs to be. I'm going to cool it down a little before I pour it. Because it's summertime and hot, we're going to do a cold cocktail here. It's going to be super refreshing. And we need a garnish of a lemon twist. We're staying in a summer house, so I don't know where the peeler is. And there it is, the bee's knees, a beautiful cocktail. A lovely sour. And the gin is delicious with this complexity of the sweet, the honey, the lemon. Again, the Industrious Spirit Company, I'm very proud to be in the city where they were just about to open when the pandemic struck. Check them out. They offer delivery, and I recommend their products. This is fabulous gin, really interesting. Today's poem is going to be one from Carl Phillips, a teacher, a writer, and of course, poet. I met him at the Bread Loaf Writers Conference. He's a good cook. I asked him for a poem that included bees. He uses bees a lot in his poetry. And here, pay attention to bees and rot. In this intriguing poem called Obeyed, that's A-U-B-A-D-E, a term meant to evoke morning, even though we're doing an evening cocktail party. It does have bees. It's called, again, Obeyed, some peaches after storm. So that each is its own now. Each has fallen, blonde stillness. Closer, above them the damselflies pass as they would over water, if the fruit were water. Or as bees would, if they weren't somewhere else, had the fruit found already a point more steep in rot. As soon it must, if none shall lift it from the grass, whose damp only softens further those parts where flesh goes soft. There are those whom no amount of patience looks likely to improve ever, I always said, meaning gift is random, assigned here withheld, almost always correctly as it's turned out. How your hands clear easily the wreckage, how you stand, like a building for a time condemned, then deemed historic. Yes, you will be saved. To Carl Phillips, to the Friday Cocktail Hour, to summertime.